lovelies, welcome to this week's video. So you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you have to leave the house. You've got something to do, you know you're going to be in photos, you want to look a little more fabulous, a little more awake, a little bit more alive, but ain't no one got time for all of the crazy foundation and crazy routines and crazy full coverage stuff that you often see in makeup tutorials. So if that's your situation, this is the video for you. We're going to talk today about why quick 10-minute makeup routine where I basically go from a fresh face to this, and I look like I've invested some time in my makeup, but I haven't really. There's lots of fun tricks that are going to trick people into thinking that you spent a lot of time on your makeup. So if you want to know how to do a quick, effortless, and simple makeup routine in the morning, then please watch. Like me if you enjoyed this video, and if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you get videos whenever they come out, because there will be more in this series. And if there's questions about anything or you want to see tutorials about individual parts, let me know in the comments below. I'm always happy to do that for you. So thanks so much, lovelies. Let's get straight to it. Okay, so let's get started. Obviously this video is going to be longer than 10 minutes because I'm going to talk through everything I'm doing, but I promise when you get really good at this and you're doing this a lot, 10 minutes is totally a generous amount of time. So we're going to start by making our own sort of tinted moisturizer. I am a more is less kind of girl, and I don't like buying a ton of different products, so I don't own a CC cream, a BB cream, tinted moisturizer, all that, but I do moisturize my face every morning. I've actually prepped this morning already. I did some micellar water, micellar water, and sprayed some toner on my face. I really do recommend those steps. Toner is inexpensive, and you can really change your skin's appearance if you start using toner every day. And then I typically would moisturize and then put on my full coverage foundation. But because I don't have time for that, I don't have time to blend all that foundation today, what I am going to do is create my own CC cream. So I have a foundation that is a couple shades too dark for me. This is the CoverGirl Vitalist Elixir Health Foundation, and my typical daytime moisturizer, which is my SPF 30 Garnier Clearly Brighter Daily Tone Even Moisturizer. Any moisturizer and any foundation work. I prefer a foundation that has more of a satin finish than a matte finish, because if you start getting into like a really matte foundation, sometimes you can have a weird finish. So all I'm going to do is like one pump of foundation. Put that aside. Sometimes I'll do 2 pumps of foundation if I'm feeling, you know, I want a little bit more coverage. And then I'll do about 1 pump of my moisturizer, maybe pump and a half. And put that aside. So you guys are going to have to excuse the reaching in and out. I misplaced my little table. And then I'm just going to give this a bit of a mix on the back of my hand. I always check and see how the shade looks. Right now this looks still a little too dark for me. So I'm just going to take a little bit more moisturizer, because what you're doing is you're shearing out the foundation, which is why like you want to take a foundation that's a little bit darker. Like go get a cheap foundation from the drugstore. You don't need anything super nice. All right, so I've got this awesome mix of foundation and moisturizer, and I'm just going to put it on my face like I would put moisturizer on. And you'll see as I sort of work it into my skin, it's super sheer, kind of has a healthy glow to it. Because the point of this isn't to have like super full coverage, right? So you're not trying to stop your skin from looking like skin. But for me, you know, I don't have the best skin. I do have problem skin. So even just a little bit of tint in my moisturizer could help even out my skin tone throughout the day. But it also means I don't have to sit here with a beauty blender blending everything in and getting all crazy. Definitely make sure, you know, get some on your eyelids. That's the quickest way to look like you're wearing makeup, is if you put tint or color or anything all over your whole face but you don't do your eyelids, then you can see on your eyelids that you don't have any, or you can see that you're wearing a mask of makeup, as we like to say. So again, this one's a little dark for me and it oxidizes orange. I bought the foundation on a recommendation thinking I was going to really like the finish, and I do like the finish, but unfortunately they just don't have any shade matches for us pale girls at all. So You can go back in a little bit, build it up, sort of blend it in a little bit with your fingers, but you're not, the whole point of this is not to get super huge amounts of coverage. You're just evening out your skin tone and giving yourself a little bit of brightness so you can go through your day. Now, as you can see, obviously I've got a bunch of redness. No lies, I was just at the hot springs near my house with my husband, so my skin got a little red. But that's okay. So you can already see that this is evened out my skin a little. You can still see my red patches, but it's a lot more even looking and a lot less sort of patchy, and generally it's a little bit more happy. But it took like 2 seconds. We just add a little bit of foundation to our moisturizer, put it on, and now we're good to go. Pay special attention to, like, when you're putting it on your face, like pat it, you know, where you have a lot of pores. Otherwise the tint might look streaky. Okay, so if you have the joy of having really blemish-free, really great skin, this is all you need to do. You don't need to do anything else to your skin. But as you can see for me, even when I'm super quick, even when I'm running out of the house, I do like to conceal a little bit of the redness broken out right now, and I do like to do my best to conceal that a little bit. So what I'll do is I'll grab some concealer, and I do have a makeup sponge usually for this step. Typically when I'm doing my makeup, I would blend all my foundation with my sponge, but with this, I'm just going to blend in the concealer and only the edges of the concealer. So again, this is a time-saving thing. We're doing this super quick. So I'm going to grab my concealer, and I'm going to use it much the way as I would foundation. I'm going to put it in my problem areas that I want to hide. So especially under my eyes, where, you know, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, you can really tell. So we're just going to hide that from people. And where I am red. So my nose, all that great stuff, my chin. Basically, I'm just going to slather this on inelegantly. Wherever I want just a little bit more coverage than the sort of sheared out foundation moisturizer will get me. And you're probably like, why are you doing this stuff? You may as well just put on foundation. Full coverage foundation, if you want to blend it and not look cakey, is going to take you, gosh, almost 10 minutes on its own. So the nice thing about doing this is you are not going to have to spend 15 minutes blending foundation. You are just going to have to blend concealer. So all I do is I look up, and I blended the concealer under my eyes, because the thing is the sponge removes product, right? So I want as much coverage as possible in my problem areas. Under my eyes being one of my you know, dark circles, one of my problem areas. And then I take it up onto the lid too, because again, I don't want people to know I'm wearing makeup. The whole point of this is like really natural. And I'm just gonna push all this product into the skin under my eyes, because I wouldn't do this if I was having, you know, full coverage foundation on. I would use my sponge because I want some product to get picked up. But in this case, I don't want the product to get picked up. I want it to stay there. And the same thing for my chin. I'm just gonna pat in the area that I want the most coverage. On my nose, sort of thing. And then when I'm sort of happy that like the areas that I need the most coverage are where they are good, I'm just gonna grab my sponge and just blend out the edges. So I don't have this like ring of concealer edge on my face. And again, it doesn't take very long, super quick. Got a cat hair floating around. Oh. Gonna blend, 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 so that we don't look a clown. And still, you'll see this doesn't give me complete full coverage like my full coverage foundations. You can still see some pimples and some redness and some skin, but that's okay, because the point of this isn't to look cakey. And it's okay to have redness and pimples and skin. Like, we don't have to be perfect porcelain dolls. Most of our skin doesn't do that naturally. Okay. and you're all good. Ta-da! So you can see, it looks like I'm wearing foundation, like maybe I've done a lot more to my skin compared to where I was, but literally if I wasn't talking this through, that would have taken me 2 seconds. Moisturizer, you know, blend in some concealer, blend out the edges, done. And I'm done for my skin. I'm completely done. Now, there are a couple steps you can do from here. If you are super oily like me, and you notice you get a lot of breaking up of product. For me, I have combination skin, so I get breaking up of product in my T-zone really bad. I will go and set this with a powder if I know I want this to last all day. If I'm only going outside really quick for a couple errands, I won't bother setting it with a powder because, again, the whole point of this is not to look super matte. The whole point of this is just to look like you're a little enhanced, a little shinier yourself. So I'm not going to set this with powder, but if you are super oily, I really do recommend that because obviously by putting moisturizer in your foundation, you already made it a little bit more greasy and shiny, and if you do get oily, set it with some powder. So once you've got your skin where you like it, you need to focus on 3 things. And the only thing you're going to focus on in your quick makeup routine is, you know, the bare necessities. Then you need to focus on your lashes, your eyebrows, and your lips, because those are the things that really frame your face and they really bring you out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the lashes, lips, and brows, and then you could stop there. You could totally stop. And then I will show if you have a little bit more time and you want to enhance that a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do up our brows. So if you don't have a lot of time, the last thing you want to do is be fussing around with a pomade. You can use a pencil. Pencils are really quick, but you have to be precise. It does take time. So I recommend a brow powder because a brow powder you can just toss on and leave. Now I will say I know I am lucky. I do have pretty full brows already, so I don't need to do a lot to them. Obviously, if you have sparser brows, then maybe do a pomade or do something quick. Because you really want to focus on your brows, and you're going to see why. Because you know, your face, if your face is a picture, your eyebrows are the frame. So what you want to make sure you do is just bring a little bit of solidity and structure to your brows so that your face seems, well, framed, for lack of a, you know, better analogy. You know, and the nice awesome thing is that whole bushy brows are in style now, which when I first started waxing my brows, luckily I was just at the tail end of that like tiny brow, super tiny brow phase, so I didn't quite have to suffer through that, but definitely thinner brows were in, so there was a lot of angst over how big my brows were and how thick my brows are and why can't I have nice thin brows and why do I have Eastern European hair which grows like crazy. Of course now I kick myself because I'm super grateful because I don't have to do much to my brows. You know, you get really quick at just filling them in and leaving the house. So you can see here all I'm doing is I'm taking my brow powder and I'm sort of just giving my brows a rough shape, but I'm not really strongly defining them like I would with a pomade. You know, I'm just sort of filling as I go, brushing them out. I did the fronts of each brow because I'm using the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder, which has got 2 colors. And for me, that is just a little more natural. So that's why I do that. There's darker color typically on a brows at the end, and there's sort of a lighter color at the beginning. That's true for my brows and for most people's brows. So this sort of lets me mimic my natural brow without too much effort, which is great. I totally see why like beauty gurus and stuff have things playing when they're doing stuff, but a few of you guys have said please don't do that, so I will not add music while I'm doing a tutorial. You just get to hear me chat. Talk, 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 talk. All right. So our brows are done, so I'm just going to comb that through. If you have extra time, I recommend another step of some brow mascara or some sort of, you know, clear brow gel just to keep them in place all day. For me, I just sort of fill them on days where I am going quick. I fill them and I peace out. brows all of us. Okay, so now our skin's done, our brows are done. We need to do 2 more things. Well, 3 more things. And then you can do more things if you have time. This is supposed to be a 10-minute tutorial and I'm like 10 minutes into it, but because I'm chatting, always with the chatting. So we've got our brows done, we've got our skin done. Now we're just going to do our lashes. And obviously that's pretty simple. With your lashes, you don't want to spend crazy amounts of time here. We're not wearing fake lashes, we're just curling. So for me, I have very, very straight lashes. If I don't curl them, they're pretty sad. So just gonna curl our lashes. Now you could even use a clear mascara, a brown mascara, just anything to really make your lashes stand out. Because remember, if there's only 3 things you have time to focus on, lashes, brows, and lips. That's all I want you guys to do. Now when you're putting your mascara on, kind of look down, because then you're not going to get mascara all the way up on your lash hood. Look down and wiggle, 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 flick. Wiggle, 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 flick. Wiggle, 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 flick. And then what you do is you get a lot on the base of the lash, but not the end of the lash, and that makes your lashes look fuller. I can do a mascara 101 video if you guys want me to explain that a little bit more in depth. Now, because I'm doing this quickly and messily, I've got mascara on my eyelid, but that's okay because we can fix that and I'll show you how. But yeah, you're not going to spend too much time doing this. You're just, going to make sure your lashes stand out. And then you'll see why, yeah? In the camera, no mascara. There's just an alertness and awakeness to my eye that you don't have without the mascara. And it's such a simple step, but it's such an important step. So, same thing, just curl your lashes. Unless you have curly lashes naturally, in which case, enjoy your fortune, because some of us have full lashes that grow straight down. In a straight, no curling, just sad little straight thing. Look, like I said, when you do this sort of every day or even a couple times a week, let's say, if you're not a makeup person, but every once in a while you want to toss it on, you're gonna be able to do this super quickly. There, and we don't put mascara on our bottom lash. We don't do anything like that. We just put mascara on our top lashes. And you can see here, we're all awake looking now. Yaha! So once your mascara is on, then you've already focused on 2 of the 3, right? We've already done our eyebrows, our lashes. Now all we need is our lips. So I recommend taking a relatively neutral color. If you want to go big or go home, you can pick a really bright color. That's actually a really good way to cheap out, make it look like you're wearing a lot of makeup or you spent a lot of time that you didn't. But what I'd recommend if you're in a hurry, all you need to do is, pick a relatively natural color that's easy to put on. So like a satin matte or a comfort matte or like an actual shiny lipstick. Just nothing that's difficult to apply. Like a, liquid matte lipstick. Which is going to take you time that you don't have. And there we go. We are lipsticked. It's a comfortable color. It's not difficult to put on. And as you can see, we focused on the 3 things. I don't look like I'm wearing a ton of makeup, but I feel more comfortable, I feel more myself, and I could leave the house. Now, there are a couple of extra things you could do if you have some extra time and you have some extra product and you want to invest in it. And maybe perking up your face even a little bit more. But like I said, you can do this in 10 minutes easy if you just want to look a little bit more awake, you want to look a little bit more alive, and you want to leave the house. You don't want to do anything else? Stop here. You don't have to do anything else. I am going to show you a couple of extra things, a couple of extra tricks. Okay, so you have a quick minute and you want to take a little bit of extra time. What you're going to do is you're going to get a highlighter. This is the Beverly Hills Amrezy Highlighter. You're going to get a highlighter. You're going to put it on your fan brush and you're just gonna put it on your skin. So you're gonna put it on the height of your cheekbones, you know, in a C shape above your eyebrows, on both sides, the bridge of your nose, your cupid's bow, your chin, maybe. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna bring some brightness to your face, give you some sheen, but not add a lot of extra steps. Honestly, I'm obsessed with highlighter. I think it's such a great thing. Sometimes I will skip everything and just put highlighter on my bare skin, because then you look glowy and fresh, and no one needs to know that it's fake reflective makeup pigment that's causing that glow. But highlighter, definitely. So if you only have one more step, toss the highlighter on. But if you have a little bit more time, you want to do a little bit more, then I suggest tossing on some bronzer, blush, and highlighter. So those are 3 extra things. It sounds like it would be a lot of extra stuff, but it's really not. You know, and a little bit of bronzer can go a long way in making you look sculpted without contouring. You don't have to put a lot on, so you don't have to go crazy. But I do typically, unless, like I said, I'm leaving the house and I have like 2 seconds, I will typically skip bronzer. But if I have the time, I toss on some bronzer, because then I'm warming up my face. And I really do notice a difference. You sculpt your face a little bit, you add some warmth to it. You're not taking a long time here. You're not contouring and all that crazy stuff. You're just giving yourself a little bit of warmth, like you've been playing around in the sun. And I'll even toss some on the upper parts of my eye, because then you add some depth into your crease, which can also make you look more awake. Takes 2 seconds. Done, done, done around my jawline. And done. All finished. So now we've tossed on some bronzer, and we're just going to put on a little bit of blush. Same thing. This just helps wake you up a little bit. You don't want to put on a lot. You're not here to be super, you know, crazy full coverage. You're just adding a little bit of color on your cheeks, a little bit of hint of blush. So again, I would not use a dark blush for this. Use something light and soft, because you're going to put on so little and you're not going to be packing your face with it. And once we're done, bronzer and blush, we're going to put our highlight on. So remember, you could skip the bronzer and blush and just do the highlight. Like I said, the highlight is what I would really recommend if you have some extra time, to just toss on that oh so pretty sheen. God, I love highlighter. I could like bathe in highlighter. It's a problem probably. So you just take a fan brush, highlight brush, whatever you want, and toss on that sweet, sweet golden shine. Because the whole point of this is to look dewy and shiny. We're not here to look matte and, you know. Obviously you would put your highlighter on before your lipstick, but we're just gonna toss some highlighter on our cupid's bow. Tip of our nose. Under our brow bone. So that's it. And we're all done. If you have the time to do those 3 steps, totally do them. Otherwise, you can stop when you're done your lipstick. But basically, this will become, I know this video is like super long, but it will become a quick 10-minute, easy, everyday makeup when you want to look a little bit more polished. You got to leave the house really quickly. You just want to feel a little bit more awake and ooh la la, but you don't want to spend an hour doing your makeup. So we're skipping all the stuff that adds all that extra time, you know, eyeshadow, contour, foundation, all those extra things. And all we're doing is bringing a little bit of evenness and life to our skin, some glow and color to our face, and we're focusing on the 3 most important things, which, say it with me guys, eyebrows, lashes, lips. That's all you're going to focus on. Focus on those 3. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope everyone has a great time with this tutorial and maybe find some inspiration and some more tricks to add to your everyday makeup. And I so look forward to seeing how everyone runs with it. So please, if you do any posting, follow me, or tag me rather, so I can see it. If you're not a follower on social media, definitely find me. All my information is linked below. And thanks so much for watching, lovelies. Have a great week, and we will be back together next week with more tutorials and awesome makeup fun. Thanks so much.